skins. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys which skins you should never ever buy in CS2. And these skins shouldn't be bought because maybe they're very hard to sell, very hard to price, or just not worth the price that they're at. But before we go into the list, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, which is White Market. White Market is a CS2 peer-to-peer marketplace where you can buy and sell skins safely for real money. There's no commission on buying skins and only 5% on selling. So if you want to buy, for example, a Bayonet Tiger Tooth on White Market, you're only paying $526. Meanwhile, on Steam, you're paying more than 620 euro. That's a big difference. White Market is also the official ESL and Faceit partner. And if you want to try them out, then please use code ANOMALY and get a $5 bonus for free. Thank you very much, White Market. And now let's get back to the video. Now, the first type of skins that you really shouldn't buy are well-worn skins. That's because they actually have the smallest float cap in the game, just the same as factory new, with only 0.06 on the entire float scale, which is very, very, very small. I don't know why Valve decided to even add well-worn. If they wanted to add it, it should have been way bigger, but for some reason, it's just so small. It doesn't make any sense. They're in this weird space where they're usually quite a bit more expensive than Battle Scarred, but still only a little bit cheaper than Field Tested. The only skin that I would go out of my way to get in well worn would be a classic knife, because if you have a classic knife well worn, it makes the pattern look a little better. Next type of item that I wouldn't buy are rare float capped items. This could be, for example, crimson webs that are factory new, and as you can see, I'm not very good at following my own rule. Another example would be skins like the Modern Hunter in factory new. There's a ton of skins that are float capped, and if you get the rare variant of them, yeah, it's a lot cooler having a Modern Hunter that is factory new or a Crimson Web that is factory new, but it's going to be 10, 20, 30 times harder to sell than a minimal wear or a field tested. And a big item that falls into this category of rare float capped skins would be factory new gloves. You may not know it, but every single glove in factory new is very rare because they're all float capped to end at 0.06, meaning that to get a pair of factory new gloves, you only have a 0.01 window to get them, which makes them extremely rare. Oh my god, I get to own a really rare and expensive item. Holy shit. Yes, maybe you do, but what you're also trading away is your fucking life, because these are so insanely hard to sell, which is why just for this video, I made this spreadsheet showing some of the factory new gloves that I've bought that I've lost a lot of money on. For example, Moto Gloves Blood Pressure factory new, I lost 1,140 euro on, or 45%. Sport Glove Slingshot factory new, these are really rare. I lost 1,130 euro, or 12%. And then these two ones at the bottom, I just held for a long time, but still ended up losing. Next up, also float related, skins that are almost the next exterior because of the float. What I mean here is, for example, if you have a pair of gloves, let's say Omega Field Tested, and you're thinking, what do I buy, a Field Tested or a minimal wear? And you end up with something like this, which is a pair of Omega gloves field tested with 0.16 or 0.15 float. Well, I would basically always suggest, instead of buying a 0.15, 16 and saving a little bit of money, that you just buy the minimal wear one, because this is going to be so much harder to sell than just a minimal wear one. And this applies for almost all skins. Instead of getting a minimal wear 0.07, just get a factory new one. Unless it's gloves, then just get a minimal wear one with base float. Next type of item you probably shouldn't buy is StatTrak knives, just because some of them are so hard to sell. StatTrak Butterfly Marble, yeah, this is fine, you can buy this one. StatTrak Flip Knife Doppler, pretty good, you can buy this one. However, stuff like StatTrak Flip Knife Blue Steel well worn, you should never buy. I've been stuck with this one for a very long time because no one wants it. However, there are scenarios where getting a StatTrak or a minimal wear can actually be really good. For example, if you're buying an M9 Bayonet Ruby, a factory new one will cost you almost $11,000. Meanwhile, a StatTrak minimal wear one will only cost you 6,900 only, by the way. But you get the point, it's way cheaper. Next skin I wouldn't recommend for you to buy is a bad blue gem. Now, getting a blue gem is fine as long as you get one that's a recognized pattern. For example, the Oceano pattern for the the M9 case hardened would be pretty good. That's the best possible blue gem pattern on the M9, which means, yes, it's going to be very expensive, but it's also a very recognized pattern with a price that's very easy to track. However, something like this Karambit case hardened, which I've had for years at this point, is not good. You can see it has a little bit of blue on the backside, which is nice, and quite a bit of blue on the play side. However, it's nowhere near enough for it to be a recognized pattern, so this is just very difficult to sell for the right price. I could sell this one right now for base list price of a Karambit case hardened, but then I wouldn't get the true value out of it, because this blue, yes, it's worth some overpay, but getting that overpay is very difficult. Next item that I wouldn't recommend for you guys to get are minimal wear skins where the factory new is very common. This includes skins like Doppler, Fades, Beagle Blaze, basically skins where getting the factory new is almost guaranteed, but there is a rare chance you get a minimal wear. For example, the Karambit Ruby is nice because it's way cheaper than a regular Karambit Ruby that's factory new, but with that price tag also comes the immense difficulty of trying to sell this item. Next skin that you shouldn't buy are made up patterns. Holy shit, guys, have you seen this Karambit Doppler phase 1 with the Supernova Galaxy Betelgeuse White Dwarf Red Superstar Giant Black Hole pattern? $16,000 current offer. Guys, for fuck's sake, don't buy something like this. These are made up patterns from people who are just trying to get a lot of overpay for their skin that isn't super nice. If you're gonna buy a skin, just buy the regular version, not some made up pattern, because one, you're paying way more than you should, and two, once again, it's gonna be insanely difficult for you to sell that skin and get your money back. Another skin that a lot of people are buying that I don't recommend, mixed sticker crafts. An example of this that I have is this M4 Icarus Fell, which has not only a very nice Kato 15 Holo Cloud 9, it has this Cologne 2014 Holo Cloud 9, this non-holo Titan Cologne, and finally this Krakow 17 Gold Autograph. Like, what the fuck is this craft? If you're gonna buy this or if you're gonna sell this, which sticker are you requesting overpay for? Because surely it's not gonna be all of them. Same goes, I'm retarded. Same goes for something like this M4 Asimov with a crown and a paper NIP Kato 2014. Just get either something like this where you have one crown on the skin or one where you have only the NIP. If you get both, it just makes it way harder to sell and way harder to price accurately. Another very similar category that's also about stickers are old skins with Kato stickers. Some of these can be nice. For example, this blue laminate that I have is decent. However, something like this is just sad. You have a P250 Hive with a Mouse Sports non-holo in a pretty ass position. If you're feeling in your heart, oh my god, I need a Kato skin, don't let it be something like this. Next type of skin that I wouldn't recommend for you to buy that I've never even bought are skins that pros have used. This could be skins used by pros in a very famous play, or for example, the Kenny S Magic Stick Op Asimov. These are just gonna be very difficult to sell. I guarantee you there's not that many people who are interested in buying something like that. Also, you would need extensive proof that a skin actually was a pro player by having float and trade history, and it's just a hassle to verify. Honestly, bro, you're just better off buying something like this where you have an actual signature of a pro player. I think that's cooler, and this, it's gonna be hard to sell as well, but here you actually get something in real life. Let me put him over there. The next category are ranked float skins, and I get this question all the time. Normally I have this StatTrak Falcon Gamma Doppler Phase 4, and it's number 99 in the world. How much overpay is that? That's probably really good, right? No! It's not! Fuck you! This rank doesn't mean anything. Having any rank higher than like number 5 doesn't add any overpay at all. Even number 5 is a stretch. If you have a good rank skin, it might mean that your float is good, which could add overpay, but the fact that it's ranked number 99 or 37, whatever, it doesn't matter. That adds no overpay. And finally, a type of skin that I wouldn't recommend for you guys to buy are very niche fades. For example, getting a fade, which is a true buff 100%, selling that is just impossible. And the overpay is so much. I'm talking like hundreds and maybe thousands of overpay for some of the top 100% buff faded skins. Another type are marble fades. For example, this bayonet marble fade is a buff second max, meaning it's the second possible best fire and ice bayonet marble fade, but also that makes it so much harder to sell. And something that's even more cancer than a second max is something like this Talon marble fade fire and ice, which is a first max, meaning it's the best possible fire and ice Talon you can get, but also imagine how difficult that is to sell. A normal Talon marble is around $780. This one is listed for $1,665. That's so insane. This one is definitely not worth 2 of this one. Those are skins that I think you definitely shouldn't buy because they're very hard to sell, very hard to price, and just a pain in the asshole. Thank you guys for watching. Now I'm going to go cry because I have all of these factory new Crimson Web knives that are never going to fucking sell.